Dead air.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Damn,
not
stupid.
dead air. Damn it. Stop saying that.
Every time there's
All
even
right.
a slight pause, we need to say dead air now.
All right. So anyway, now that we've started yet another stream with us bullshitting because you won't just let me wait.
Nope.
Okay.
Hey,
So
we
Yeah,
have
it's a
2
cold
hours.
open.
We
last
have
week,
2 hours. I am on a truncated timetable.
then stop interrupting me, jackwagon. All right. So
Hold on, let's do this a
last
few
week-
more times.
Last week, you fought your way out of the catacombs below the city in an effort to alleviate your weakened state. Not sure if you'd completed your task. Not sure if you'd completed your task. You planned to hand over what you had found so far to Varen and head back into the Undercity. Upon handing over the parchment and amulet to Varen, however, you were told that you had discovered what was a cipher that could ultimately lead to discovering the cultists and their plans. Newly contented with your efforts, the party went back into the catacombs in the under the Neverdeath graveyard, but were ultimately driven out by your indecision and a large swarm of insects. We opened this week with a 10-day of downtime before you guys begin your next quest, while you wait for a sending spell to arrive from Varen. I think we should probably open with either Xanalor or Vershad, depending on what you guys want. If you guys had anything that you did want to do with your 10-day.
I say we start with Xanalor.
Okay.
Did we talk about something?
We didn't. I was just going to see if there was anything you wanted to do.
Oh.
You've typically had some pretty entertaining 10-day plans.
Can we start with someone else so I can get a minute?
Okay, sure. We'll switch over to starting with Vershad then. So Vershad, you what do you do with your 10-day, or at least what is something that you would like to do during your 10-day of downtime?
Yeah, I'd like to segment my time a little bit on this one, and the item that I'll probably do first is going back to the temple of the Scalebearer.
Mhm.
And as soon as I head into the temple itself, grabbing a seat, and kind of restlessly fidgeting around for a couple of minutes before I begin wrestling with my thoughts. First and foremost is harkening back to Stock and Neves feeling like they had to give me some sort of martial training.
It sounds dirty.
Well, most specifically because it comes down to like, hey, we need like understanding what we're coming up against. I need to be able to not be a liability, and something that we have to always keep in mind of protecting me as we fight these battles. And then I remember our last conversation with the scale bearer, where I know I kind of went outside the scope of practice a little bit by directly attacking and with the intent of harming some foes. And then I get incredibly frustrated, and I'm no longer thinking at this point, and I just scream at the top of my lungs, like, how the hell am I supposed to do both of these fucking things? And then I realized that I said the quiet part loud, and I was sorry.
As you as you were sitting there, there's not a lot of people that come in and out of the temple, but there's usually at least someone around every time you've been in. As you sat there kind of waiting, thinking, and then contemplating, and ultimately falling into sort of your own, like kind of tumbling down the rabbit hole of your own frustrations and your outburst, as you sort of like open your eyes, or at least your mind recognizes that you are in fact somewhere with surroundings, having shouted, how the hell am I supposed to do this? You look around you and you see that there's no one in the temple except for you. And you find yourself actually standing before the altar at the forefront of the temple. The temple's kind of built around this altar to the scale bearer.
Man, this is one hell of a temper tantrum.
as you continue to kind of stand there and you hear the echo of your shout sort of reverberating in the area, and it starts to fade away, you see a swallow comes flying in, flits around a little bit, but ultimately lands on the altar in front of you. You see in its mouth is a twig, and on either side of the twig is a leaf.
So you want me to hit them with this? And I just kind of reach out for it.
The sparrow kind of like flits and hops side to side on the altar, but it doesn't chirp or anything like that. It just keeps like watching you.
Oh my god, this is what happens when you have somebody who really likes animals and they can't fucking talk. Just fucking tell me what you want me to do.
The bird just continues to look at you.
If this thing says fucking nevermore, I'm leaving right now. Just kind of look at it. And I just realized, like, after about a minute, I realized I'm having a fucking staring match with the bird.
As you realize this, the bird kind of it starts to sort of it stops regarding you so much and kind of starts looking at its surroundings again. It lets go of the twig as it like starts to fly off, and you instinctively reach out. You're not sure whether it's towards the bird or towards the twig itself. As you reach out, there's a burst of energy from your hand.
What the fuck?
What creature would you say is probably most ubiquitous to yourself, your relationship with the scale bearer, and the spell that you cast?
If we're going based off of that, given what I've wild shaped the most into, I probably would say either a wolf.
Okay.
However, given that the last animal I saw was a swallow, it probably would have been a swallow.
All right. Well, for the sake of flavor here, we'll say that this burst of I don't want to say arcane, because your casting isn't necessarily arcane in its we'll say like a burst of kind of like
Woodstock
pollen,
energy. Big Woodstock
pollen and fireflies, kind of stuff like that, like natural sort of bursting things. Flies from your hand, and like you've seen that happen before when you've cast spells and things like that. There's usually this little bit of like sort of nature that just comes from your palm, and you see it take the shape of it's a swallow, but it is sort of fey in nature, and it sort of flies up and it does a couple laps around the altar, and it comes down, and you actually see it sort of transform into a fey wolf that steps out from behind the altar. It looks at you. It does that thing where, you know, like dogs, like it'll cock its head to the side and then it turns back, and then it opens its mouth, you know, kind of like how dogs, when they look at you for a little bit and then they decide that you're funny and they like start panting because they're like, you know, sort of miming laughing, and then it sort of just like trots off and turns back into like those like motes of spores and pollen and fireflies.
Well, that was an answer I wasn't fully expecting. Yeah, if you kill me, it's still on you, but thanks, I guess. And I leave.
All right.
Heading back to the breeze home.
Sure. Xanilor, if you don't have anything, that's okay.
I have one thing.
Okay.
But it's like a day. So I kind of, based on what Rashad had said to me last game, I think, and with some of the things I've been told from my journal, I'm gonna stay up the first night, like without sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
But then, because of a new level 5 thing, I find I'm not as like exhausted as the other nights I've stayed awake.
Okay.
And then that day, I want to go to a flower shop and buy like a bundle of flowers.
Okay. I'll say that that's going to cost like a silver.
Okay. And then I want to go back to Neverdeath.
Okay.
And then there's a particular grave I'm looking for.
Okay. Are you going to say that particular grave, or are you waiting?
Nope.
Okay. Go ahead and make. So do you like? Are you Xanalar aware of where this grave is? Like, have you been there before?
Try to think through the. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm not
been
gonna make you make an investigation check then. But I will.
I am trying not to be seen.
Okay. So go ahead and make a stealth check then.
Oh God. 4, which is my lowest.
So you continue to move through the city as you have whenever you are trying to keep your movements sort of off the radar. You know, you've got your hood up, trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. And you believe that you have accomplished this by moving in this manner. Whether or not anyone has seen you or not, you are not sure. But yeah, so you make your way through the Neverdeath graveyard to the destination of your choice.
And then I just want to set the flowers down.
Okay.
And then kind of take out my journal and sit there a while.
Okay. And so you're just kind of journaling thoughts and musings at this point, or
and trying to, I guess, am I okay? Like thinking through the process of am I okay talking to the people I'm with right now about this? Like I'm just trying to process that for myself.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think like during that time, like you kind of processing that and writing, you're actually not getting an answer from your journal. However, you've kind of noticed this over the course of your time, you know, journaling and this journey that you've been on. You've noticed that in these sort of instances where you're struggling so much more with personal and interpersonal matters, you usually don't wind up getting an answer,
Right.
which can be frustrating because it seems like at times where you need it most, you've gotten at least some push in a direction, but every time it's come to this sort of inner turmoil, you wind up reaching out and you know, pulling up nothing.
Right.
Anything else?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
Okay. All right. So we have, since we're doing another 10-day of downtime, we have another opportunity for Stock and Nevis. I guess I would say Stock to train Nevis, but at this point, they're both kind of training each other in different things. Stock, have you had an opportunity to think of what this 10 days lesson might be? Or lessons?
In a sense, it's going to be much more focused on mindfulness And it's going to be a lot of learning to just empty yourself out and be aware of what is around you and embrace what's around you. So it's very much trying to take in everything while taking in nothing. It's very abstract in its sense. Till we get around to Vershad stuff.
Okay.
So at least half of it is going to be spent on learning to be mindfulness.
Okay. So what's your plan then with Nevis as far as stuff with Vershad goes?
That is going to be trying to break him again.
Like trying to force him to violence or what?
Trying to further drive home that as much as you want to be this instrument of peace at a time, you can only be at peace and have peace if you are willing to do what is necessary to facilitate peace, in the sense that only somebody who has known war and understands what it means to take a life can really have the ability to truly be pacifist in the world, because their skills are there to understand that it is necessary but not always the right path.
So Stock has missed the point of Sun Tzu's teachings.
Well,
which
that
is
in
war,
true
peace is not possible.
well, that in strength you can find peace because you have the means to facilitate peace.
Peace through superior firepower.
Essentially,
So-
yes.
So
That-
before we get to the interaction with the three of you, I want to do what I've done so far every 10-day of training with you, Stock, and see kind of how Nevis feels about, or like what he learns about, or what he takes away from your teachings.
Is that my cue?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Well, hearing what Stock has been teaching me on this time, I have to admit that it's something that's hard for me to wrap my mind around. Whenever I'm doing my thing, the metalworking and whatever goes along with it, I always have a focus. I always have an idea. I always have a purpose to the procedure, and trying to not really focus on anything but my surroundings. And I think he's trying to get me to kind of be open to battle in a different way. It's really different for me to try and think that way. So this time, I think I'm definitely struggling with this aspect.
Okay, and I think that makes a lot of sense, because you've been able to, at every training so far, you've been able to sort of link what Stock has taught you with things that you know about forging and metallurgy. You've been able to make those connections and relate yourself to the material that Stock has been teaching you. And this time, you through this 10-day, you really struggle with it. But I think that at a certain point through the 10-day, you understand the concept. It's still something you're working on, but you understand now that there actually is a division between how you've treated combat until now, which is the same way you've treated metallurgy. You know, every stroke has a purpose, and every hit of the hammer or smash with your mace was another step in a process towards a finished product. Whereas you're learning now that perhaps with the blade, that, you know, the movements are similar. However, the getting too much in your own mind and not reacting, you know, as water might in the situation, if you're thinking too much about your next step in this battle, you might be caught in a place that you got to because you weren't there. You weren't present in the moment.
So, actually, a good way for me to sum this up is using one of those things that Corey had me look up, the 6 of them. And so, to sum up essentially what Stock is trying to get at through this is, I'm going to tell you a teaching from one of the great masters, and that is, you must be shapeless, formless like water. When you pour water in a cup, it becomes the cup. When you pour water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. When you pour water in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Water can drip, it can crash. Become like water, my friend.
I will ponder that.
So, for the end of your 10-day of training with Stock, go ahead and roll your D100.
14. Oh, I'm sorry, 41.
41. Okay. Yeah, this week you do not get a second 10-day of training knocked off.
Okay.
All right, and then I don't know why I keep forgetting this, but Stock, you're working on learning like
Leather.
Leather. That's right. Yeah.
That reminds me, I forgot about something. So
Okay.
To buy clothes.
So I think I have something that would help tie in my training with Stock as far as the leather working.
Okay.
So since it occurred, I've been thinking about the episode with Stock and myself and Vendy, and wondering why Vendy was so dead set against attacking or even forcefully defending himself. And it started me kind of thinking about why I'm confused by his pacifism.
Okay.
And realizing that it's nature-based, and nature in itself can be aggressive, but not unless it's forced to. So I'm kind of getting that, and Bendy did ask me to try and do something with his shield. So I think I've, in the time where Stock's training me and where I'm helping him, I can I go up to Bendy and I ask him if he'd be willing to let me do something with his shield now.
By all means. Yeah, thank you.
So I take it, and going back to the early days when I didn't know Wolfgar and didn't know metallurgy and metalworking, and I was doing it all with sticks or with wood and hemp and
oh yeah, when you were working out of the tree.
Yeah, different natural
materials.
elements. Yeah, materials to like assemble things. I want to stay with that natural material, so I want to try to grab up what would appear to be like just useless wood. I don't want to take a tree down. I don't want to destroy anything natural. I want it to be something that's already easily picked up. Something, kind of like going like driftwood on a beach or something. You just go and you find different things, and maybe they have an interesting knot in them, or maybe the materials that I use that I'm going to try to put together for the bonding material to hold all this together. Try to find different tree saps and different items like that where I can make a natural cement and let's tie this all together. And of course, it's going to have some leather involved in it for straps and whatnot, maybe even some flair, so to speak. So I think that's where, when I'm working with that aspect of it, is where I can kind of imbue some knowledge of that to stock.
Okay. So so for this, you wind up going out, and luckily you're in a port city. So you go down to the port, and also lucky enough, this is people use wooden ships, and sometimes wooden ships get attacked by pirates and blow up, and sometimes they get attacked by krakens and blow up. So when you're in a coastal city, driftwood is basically in no short order. So you're able to go out into the port and kind of the beaches just outside the city walls and find plenty of wood for this. You even find enough for for some mistakes, and through creating this shield, and showing stock how to make this shield sort of as strong as steel while having it still be natural resources by using more natural resources like the saps to make a cement, and using the leather, which also comes from a natural resource being animal hide. You show stock, and stock, this is something that you've been warring with yourself. You show stock that using nature and going against and having nature do something that nature isn't necessarily intended for is still nature. So even to go against one's own nature is not necessarily unnatural. And that's something that you were struggling with last time, stock, which was your sort of innate that burning rage within you, and how you're able to sort of exercise that particular demon when you're meditating or sword fighting, and how when you were trying to do the more tranquil work of leather working, where it's precise and slow and methodical, you were kind of raging against that. You were butting your head up against a wall. But with that lesson from Nevis over the course of this week, and seeing him craft this shield from nature, you kind of understand that what you're doing, what you're hoping to achieve, may not be as far out of reach and potentially impossible at times as it seems.
Yep. I'm disappearing for a while after that shit.
So before we go ahead and jump into Vendi and Stock and Nevis together, Aaron, welcome back.
Yay.
And did you have an opportunity to think about what your newest lesson or research project is on your sort of your path to religious proficiency, especially regarding Myliki? Oh wait, his headset doesn't work. Oh, it is.
Yeah, I'm kind of just working into a phone. Right now, it seems like my more specific searches haven't really been getting me too much. Just been getting me general answers. So I just want to start broadening my search and just looking for doing history on searches on anomalies in history and stuff like that may have been associated with Myliki.
Okay. Go ahead and make a history check for me.
That is a 13.
13. Okay. So as you're going through these texts and stuff, and going through history, I wanted to look at something really quick. I'm trying to find something that I wrote and don't remember when I wrote it. Oh yeah, you're working with Ovate Brendan. You guys are sort of going through these texts together. You find instances over time throughout the history of the Sword Coast, predating the Cataclysm even, and the spell plague and all that stuff. There are times where it appears as though, without it being expressly stated, there appears to be at times where there were great things going on in the world, in Faerun at large. It appears as though Mayaliki put their thumb on the scale and sort of chose a champion, so to speak. Because you find, there are these people, these druids throughout history that have played hands in these great events, even as recently as Leovan Druidwalker, during the rise of the Cult of the Dragon.
Okay. I think I remember hearing something about Leovan.
So go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
Okay. 21.
21. Okay. Yeah, you do not get a bonus 10-day of training out of this, just the normal 10-day.
But I do think that I am the new chosen one.
Okay, so Stock, Vendy, and Nevis. We're gonna zoom in on that, and then once that has concluded, Xanilor, you said there was something that you forgot. We'll circle back to that.
Yep.
So for the record, I'm coming out into where we're in the training zone, and I'm 100% just eating an apple, being aloof as hell. And yeah, I don't know how you guys are currently postured right now. If you're like already like, okay, it's gonna be training, I'm just sitting there with that. I was like, oh hey guys, how you doing?
So I take this opportunity to hand Vendy back the shield that I've finished, and I look at him and I say, "Here, you might need this."
Oh my god, it looks so much. There's a V on it, and like I'm looking at the leather straps. They come across like that. It's like it's a V for me.
Sure, whatever helps you sleep. Whatever helps you sleep next to a garbage can.
This will certainly do it. As I slide it back onto my arm, it actually stays in place now. Look at this. Look. Oh. Before, like I was riding Charlie, you just heard it slap against my. Like, see, I still got bruises. Oh, this is great. Thank you. Wait, why are you holding those swords? Oh my god.
So
Oh my god.
I'm gonna walk up to Vendy, and I'm of course gonna be carrying my glaive with me, as I tend to do. And I'm literally gonna palm his head. I'm just gonna take my hand and put it over his head and stand next to him. I'm putting it on the top of your head like you would to a child. And,
yeah, it's just your hand's that big.
And I'm just gonna bend down and whisper to him another thing that I've learned in my wonderful teachings that have come back to me, and that is, for life and death are one, even as the river and the sea are one. And I proceed to chuck him.
That was so beautiful, but I'm afraid I'm gonna get murdered.
Okay, guys, go ahead and make Stock make an athletics check. Vendy, make an athletics or acrobatics check.
I'm gonna take acrobatics.
Got a 17.
14.
All right. So as Stock finishes whispering this to you, Vendy, you feel like this tremendous force on your head, and you find yourself sort of backpedaling and reeling to catch your balance. And there's a bit of distance now between you and Stock, and you see that distance is starting to be filled by his glaive.
So, Leaving it at that, I'm just going to walk away and go, there cannot be life without death, not peace without war. And that's the end of the training.
No, it's not.
In my mind, it is.
Yeah, in your mind, but when you turn around, there's 8 wolves all backing down on you.
So yeah, you guys see, is it a concentration spell?
It is.
Then?
It
Okay.
is, but I would have casted it as soon as I hit the ground.
Right. Yeah. So, so you see still clutching his shield, but you see him wrinkles in his forehead of concentration and effort. And Nevis and Stock, you guys see 8 would appear to be like, they look like wolves, but they do have like some sort of like fey aspects to them. Like the ears are slightly longer, the fur is a bit more I would say fantastical in a way, but it in no way detracts from how long and sharp their fangs are. And you see the 8 of them kind of they've spread out in a way that they're kind of sort of like in a W shape towards you guys, where Stock and Nevis, you guys would sort of fall into the valleys of that W, and they're sort of like Vendy said, like bearing down on you.
Now this looks like fun. Training will begin.
No, hold up. Just keep them in talking distance, as I say to the wolves, and goes like, Stock, has anybody ever told you how to cut down a tree?
One swipe at a time, and I want to make an attack at him.
Swipe?
Well, you can use a wood axe. You can use a rope and pull down. What the goal here is, there's more than one way to cut down a tree. So you're telling me that violence is the only way to ensure peace. I'm telling you, at the same time, what makes peace happen is knowing that you're in a place to protect it. It's not always about aggression. It's not about showing that you're the biggest guy in the schoolyard. Sometimes it's about saying, no, we're not going to fucking go that way. And then standing your ground.
Let's see how that works out for you.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you, and 8 wolves attack him and only him.
I'm going to have fun with this. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Party
yeah,
murder.
Go ahead and roll the 8 wolf attacks.
Yeah, hold up. I didn't actually think we were going to come to this, so I have to go get the wolf stat block.
Oh, come on. It's a combat-based character.
And where's my D&D Beyond? There we go. So there's 8 of these. It gets advantage on all 8 attacks because there's another wolf within 5 feet of it. What's your AC, Mike?
15.
Well, the first one is a 19.
Okay.
The second is a 17. The third is a natural 20. The fourth is 15. Adjusted 20. 16. So that's 6 hits. 7th is
Hey, just
19.
thinking
And
about
the 8th is a miss.
the last one I'm going to let hit too. I'm going to let every single one of them hit.
All right, so all 8 hit. So that ends up doing
Well, it's a crit.
I'm not going to try and stop a single one of them.
So it's 56 plus what's another 5, so that ends up being
I'm already unconscious. I only have 50.
Yeah, 59 damage. And then you also have to make 8 DC 11 strength saving throws or you're knocked prone.
I'm unconscious
He's
anyways.
unconscious. But he's on his feet.
I will like to specifically mention they will all do non-lethal damage.
And so whenever I come around, I'm assuming that Vendy is still there, and so is Nevis. And I'm just going to look at him and go, how'd that piece work out without violence? And walk away. Hurting, bleeding.
Yeah. As you wake up, it's like,
It was just to
I'm
illustrate
not
the
ever
point that
looking
he
to
couldn't have had his peace without causing violence.
Oh, I gave you the option to walk away. You refused it.
And you still wouldn't have had your peace. That's
I don't know. I'm feeling great right now.
That was the whole point, was just to illustrate the point that at a certain point you cannot have peace no matter how much you want it.
Yeah. And I just want to talk about mechanically is that you should be making a new character right now.
Well, I'm still operating under the assumption that you are non-lethal. I mean, if you were doing lethal, I will gladly pull one of my spares out. I got enough.
No, I'm just joking.
That's how Vendy made his first kill.
Yep. I would be satisfied with that. We broke Vendy and gave him an existential crisis.
I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good.
All right.
Corey's like, fuck, what did I do?
Yeah, Nevis, what are you doing throughout all of this?
Let me just say that when it's all said and done and Stock gets up and walks away and says his retort to you, I finally reach up and close my jaw. Because I've been just staying there gape-mouthed the entire time, wondering what in the hell is just happening. And I'm still trying to figure out where these damn wolves came from.
Yeah, land piranhas, man.
Land piranhas.
That was fun.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we'll circle back around to Xanlar. You said there was something that you forgot.
Yeah, so I bought some carpenter's tools a while ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how to use those. So I want to buy some lumber and then start trying to figure out how to use them.
Okay.
Basically, like, say, try to build a birdhouse until I can actually build a birdhouse.
Okay. You bought those carpenter's tools from Aldine, right?
Yes.
Okay. I need to start doing this like when you guys do it. I need to take those off of that list real quick.
Oh.
Okay. I'll say for a decent amount of lumber, we'll call it 5 copper.
Okay.
Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
8.
8. Okay. So you try, using the tools to cut the wood and nails to, fix the wood in place, and you've created a misshapen blob of a box that you stabbed a hole through with your dagger, and you kind of chiseled it out with your dagger so that a bird can potentially enter it. You hang it up outside, or try to, and there's a particularly windy day that week, and it actually just falls apart. You wake up one morning and there's just some lumber on the ground and no twigs. It appears as though no birds decided they wanted to use it before it fell apart.
I might have built a decent bird trap.
Go ahead and make another intelligence check for me. This one is just this is less of a
I'm not good at this. That's a 4.
A 4. You might just need another crack at it.
Okay.
Okay. So, is there anything you guys wanted to do, or did you anything you wanted to buy before make a decision on where to go next, or what you're doing next, or anything that you guys wanted to do, sort of like together as a group, as far as like talking to one another in the Breeze home during the downtime?
I blame Nevis for this. He showed me going against nature isn't necessarily a bad thing, and it hurt a lot. Yeah, I think all we have is the booze cruise and heading out to Tinkertop.
Yeah, I feel like I owe Stock a few drinks. And then also a little bit of isopropyl alcohol for the wolf bites.
Does that exist in this world? I haven't seen it in a shop yet.
We'll check the herbalist shop on the way over to the booze cruise.
Then you go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Do I have to? Can I just make my wolves do it?
He's just got wolves around him all the time now.
Yeah. That is an 11 plus 2, 13.
All right. So you kind of ask around the port, and you like try to find like a Neverwinter Board of Tourism kind of thing to see if there is a booze cruise, an ale sale, anything like that. And it appears as though there is no sort of chartered vessel for taking people places and them just drinking. There are like merchant crafts and things like that. But you find a guy in the port. His name is Flanagan O'Shamus.
Affiliated. And he has an affiliation.
I take offense to that.
Affiliated with Tyrannus Decidus Productions.
He
First off, can I just hear the name like 4 more times?
Flanagan O'Shamus.
What's his brother's name?
His brother's name is Finnegan O'Shamus.
Are they twins?
No.
Damn.
Just Irish twins.
They're 12 years of age apart. So Captain O'Shamus will take you guys from Neverwinter up to Luskin and stock the ship full of booze for 10 gold a head.
Guys, I don't have a better use for my money, so I can buy this for all of us. Who wants to get rip-roaring drunk? Not all at once. All right, I guess it's just 10.
Are we with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he Vershad probably would have come back and told you guys about.
Yeah, as soon as I see it, I cast message individually to everyone.
I think that only has a range of 120 feet, right?
Yeah, but I'm just like random people like walking down the streets like, booze cruise, booze cruise, booze cruise, booze cruise.
There's one particularly rummy looking guy who's like, okay, I'll go with you.
Yeah, come on over. Your liver has to look like a cheetah.
If you're buying, I'm if you're
I just imagine
I'm in.
I just see him falling into the ocean as he's trying to get into the boat.
Don't worry, we'll have Borax become a reef shark and save him with his sharp life-saving claws.
Sharp
jaws.
Borax will turn into a rat and try to sneak onto the booze cruise.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the very, very blatant metaphor at the end of The Departed? No. Guys. Yeah. So like everyone's in the breeze home. I burst open the door. It's like Kramer style from Seinfeld. It's like, guys, you'll never believe it. Alcohol, boats, 10 gold ahead, going to Luskin. Let's go.
Very little of that sounded appealing.
Then there's a message in the back of your head just going, come on, let's go.
You had me at boat.
You lost me at boat.
Look, Stock, you look like I need a drink. Come on.
You look like I need a drink.
I'm just not going to say anything and walk out the door.
I'm taking that as a yes.
And Borax plans to use this booze cruise not to get drunk, but to look into the ocean to see if there's animals and stuff that he could later recreate.
I'm taking that as a yes. Nevis?
This sounds like a company retreat, so hey, why not?
That's yes, Xanalor, you're coming. I walk out the door.
Who's the speaker? We have a guest speaker, right?
It's it's Finnegan O'Shamus.
I thought it was that drunk guy who's just coming along.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
It's an undercover boss situation.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy is Ryan Reynolds in oh god, what movie? 6 Underground. He only sings Muse songs.
So the next day you guys set out. You have your your packs on you for a couple changes of clothes. You've brought whatever personal effects you wish to bring. I'm sure Sack brought his entire arsenal. And you guys get on the boat, and the Captain O'Shamus and his first mate O'Shamus are they're there to greet you. They inform you that the hold has been filled with booze and food, and the drunk guy that you found in the in the port area is every time you guys see him over the course of this trip, like he's not always around. Like someone always finds him somewhere, and he's always like passed out in a puddle of booze, like his like face and chest on the ground, like his knees on the floor, and his butt just like up in the air, and his arms just like all akimbo. Like he like literally was like kneeling, like drinking because he couldn't stand up anymore, and just like fell forward.
Does he reek of urine?
And booze, yeah.
I am staying the fuck away from him.
Hey, do we have to spend more gold to get limes so that we don't get scurvy?
I don't think it's that long of a trip.
Look, I'm not a sailor, so I don't know.
Scurvy sets in after 12 hours.
Yes.
Every time I find Vershad's alky buddy, I grab his head and jam it under the water over the side of the boat.
All right, thanks. Now I can drink more.
So, just for reference, you guys, the boat goes north up to Luskin. You guys can sort of see the mountains of the spine of the world in the horizon over the like behind the city. It is incredibly cold up here. You guys are given the option to disembark at Luskin and find your own way back, or continue with the boat back to Neverwinter.
Oh god, my liver, guys.
I have to check notes. Because I don't remember where Tinkertop's at.
That was over by the Glimmerwood.
I think it was
I remember Silvermoon was involved.
Yeah, Silvery Moon, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in the woods. It was believed near the town of Glimmermore.
So we're not really any further.
Nope. So
Here.
fuck it. Let's go after Tinkertop.
So I will remind you guys that your current mode of transport, the draft horse and wagon that was sort of gifted to you by the college, is in Neverwinter.
Wait, I thought our current mode of transport was Booze Cruise.
Yeah.
Well, your land transport.
Do you guys want to commandeer this ship?
Does it go out there?
Hey, Finnegan and Seamus.
It's time to be pirates.
So there's like water ships, right? Can this ship?
You say water ships?
Yeah, there's like water ships, and then there's air ships, right? Air ships.
I don't know that I've ever seen one of these airships.
Well, it's just like this ship, but it's in the air.
How would that even work?
Magnets is my first guess.
What are magnets?
They're a type of bird.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it's like, hey, like this Booze Cruise is pretty great. Like 8 out of 10 would recommend. But you want to get this up to 10 out of 10? We get this fucking ship in the air and we start heading east. And everyone's like, oh my God, are we are we drunk? There's a ship in the sky, but no, it's actually our drunk asses in the sky.
While this
What say you?
alcoholic-induced ramblings are going on, I'm gonna go scrounge up a horse and cart and buy them.
Look, Rashad, I like your enthusiasm, but let's put this whole flying ship idea off until I can actually fly myself in case things go horribly wrong.
He lost himself.
Yeah, okay.
All right, what kind of horse are you looking for? Stock.
Probably just a draft horse.
Okay. So a draft horse and a wagon would run you 85 gold.
Works for me. I got it.
Oh my
Damn.
God, that's so much more expensive than all the booze we can drink.
Well, you paid for 7 people technically, only by 15 more.
Well, is it because I drink for 2?
All right.
Wait, you're pregnant?
Not anymore?
Congratulations.
No, didn't you realize half elves are like seahorses?
Don't bring me into this.
Yep. I'm turning up with a wagon and a horse and just, yeah, let's go. Bring all the booze with. You're going to need it.
How much for just a horse?
A riding horse is
For me and Rashad, a wild shape charge.
All right, it's in the journal, isn't it?
For 2 hours of it.
We got 2 charges.
a riding horse is 75 gold on its own.
So are we buying horses or are we going back to Neverwinter?
You guys can all ride in the wagon.
Oh.
That was the point of the wagon.
I didn't understand.
Look,
We
worst
only
case
have the
scenario.
one horse, though.
Yeah, worst case scenario, Borax, if we need some extra horse, we'll become horses and just start running.
Yeah.
Yeah, the carry capacity of a draft horse and a wagon is actually like really high. You basically only need one to carry anything. Not like ever. Like to get back with the metal man, you guys probably would have needed a second draft horse on the wagon, but especially if you guys are carrying back like 4 chain shirts and all that stuff.
Do they
Oh my
sell?
God.
Do
Let's
they
get a
sell
second draft
mastiffs?
horse. You never know when we need more metal men.
Question: can we retroactively have taken the metal man onto the booze cruise and weekend at Bernice the entire?
I would not have allowed that.
They do not have any mastiffs for sale up here. They don't.
Okay.
They don't use them here in Luskin. It's even the draft horses. Like if you purchase like I would say like more than 4, you're probably buying out the majority of the horses available in Luskin at the time.
Okay. All right. Wagon it is.
All right. So you guys set out on the road once more. Apparently my Google Home is talking to Alexis.
Keep messing with her. It'll freak her out.
I'm not actually sure like how, because I mean my phone usually pops up something too when I've started talking with it. But anyway, so you guys set out. The first day of the trip, it's very cold. You guys don't see a whole lot of sort of wildlife that you're used to. There are like some like snow rabbits that you see. You see a few like snowy foxes and things like that. and like the occasional traveler. Most people come to Luskan like from Neverwinter, like up the coast way, rather than going through the crags like to Mirabar and through the river Mirar to Luskan. But there are some travelers on the road. And then you guys get to the end of the adventuring day. Who's taking what watch? We're doing the same as usual.
Well, I'm not sleeping.
Okay, so Xanalor is on all watches with everybody.
I'm going to take the same watch as Stock.
Okay, so Vershad and Stock are on third with Xanalor.
And you guys want to join third watch with all of us?
Third watch party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Borax, do you want first watch? Or fourth watch?
Or none.
Borax died on the trip, guys.
Hello?
Yep. Just take it first?
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was saying that the whole time, but apparently when it's on speaker, it does not go into it.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so Borax, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
15.
15. Okay. Xanalor, what are you doing like when other people are also on watch?
I'm just kind of sitting by them, like near them anyway, and I've got my journal out and maybe I write something.
Okay. All right. So Borax, your first night of watch goes by uneventfully. So second watch then is Nevis. Sorry, it's been a while since we did this. Nevis, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Should I also be rolling, or do I just?
Are you actually like doing any watch type stuff?
I mean, I'm looking around a little bit.
Okay. I mean, if you are, go ahead. Yeah.
24.
Nice.
9.
Not doing a lot of looking around this watch. Yeah, Nevis, you're just kind of taking in the crisp cold air. Nothing out of the ordinary around you as far as like wildlife or your sort of monstrosities that you guys have encountered. The watch goes by without anything really encroaching on the camp. And that brings us to the apparently ever popular third watch.
I didn't notice anything. I rolled a 1.
Okay. You guys aren't sure if Xanalor has fallen asleep or if he's just like that zoned out.
Does he sleep with one eye open?
Perception, I got an adjusted 20.
I got a 17.
I have one eye open, but it's not the eye under. It's the eye under the eye patch.
This is almost like sleeping, guys.
Yeah, you guys watch. You don't see anything. Same as Nevis. There's nothing really encroaching on the camp.
Cool. I'd like to sit down next to Stock, and I was like, "Hey, man, about the other day. Sorry for all the wolves. that might have been a little excessive."
No, illustrated the point perfectly.
Okay. Something I may mean to ask you about that. What made you want to teach me how to defend myself so badly?
Because the weak are bound to be abused by the strong, and those who are willing to kill are more likely to achieve their goals.
Okay, is that what you were told to say, or is that what you really believe? Because I don't know which one to file that under.
I'm gonna grab frickin' Vendy, and are there any woods or anything similar to that around us?
it's relatively open where you guys are at. There are scattered like trees and stuff like that. Nothing that would like constitute like a wooded area, but there are places, I'm assuming, obscured from where you are currently at.
I'm gonna look at Xanolar and say, keep an eye on things. Vendi and I are gonna go on a patrol.
This side.
Yeah,
I'm about to get murdered.
the good one.
We're gonna even out the score apparently.
So I'm gonna take Vendi with me, and we're gonna walk far enough away where I feel that Xanolar can't see us.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, of all things, take my helmet off in front of him. And,
okay.
And so what you actually see underneath the helmet is not humanoid by any stretch of the imagination. It is the definition of a northern Arctic bugbear. I have the spiked teeth, the extended lower jaw, the pointed ears, face covered in fuzz, and these very, very piercing blue eyes.
Well, I have to tell you, your comment is impeccable.
So, what I'm going to tell you, only my master has ever known, and that is, I was adopted as a cub because him and his comrades were charged with slaughtering my people. My people were a group of bugbears that lived in the far north that were of the pacifist mentality. We tried to keep to ourselves, we only took what we needed and let the world pass us by. Well, turns out monsters are monsters to most people, and when you choose to be a pacifist, people take advantage of that. So, one day a group of adventurers turned up and slaughtered my entire family. Women, children, anything they could find that was not considered proper. I got lucky, though, in being a relatively newborn pup. My master of all people took pity on me. It cost him his adventuring party, it cost him his claims on many different things, but he took me away and trained me in the ways of how to survive and try to be more than I am. And the cost of this was I had to lose everything, including any sense of a true family I've ever had, and learn that pacifism is just a way to be destroyed by others who seek strength. So being a pacifist is going to eventually lead to your demise by somebody who is stronger and not willing to compromise.
Well, I think I now understand that every time that we brought up how pacifism actually is the projection of strength, and felt like there's a knife going into your side. So, one, thank you for sharing, and two, you don't have to worry about this going any farther than this moment right here.
Oh, if it does, I will kill you.
I mean, I feel like
In
we've
your
already
sleep.
proven it's going to be harder than you think it.
No, I will do it in your sleep.
Okay, it's going to be easier than you think it is. But I'm not going to try to tell you to change how you feel about your past and clearly what happened. That's unforgivable. But on the same end here, it's not like you don't have a family.
Well, my master's dead. You guys are a bunch of assholes. My family's dead. Yeah, I don't have a family.
Let me tell you, there's not a big difference between having a family and knowing a bunch of assholes. Like, you're way closer to the bullseye than you think you are. Stop.
I'm just gonna put the helmet back on, put the hand on his head, rough up his hair a bit, give him a little bit of a shove, and walk back to the camp.
You mean I'm not getting murdered?
Not today, little one.
Oh, thank fucking God. Yeah, and I don't sleep at all that night.
So did you find anything out there?
Mortality?
And now there's understanding of why pacifism is stupid.
Or wildly misunderstood.
All right.
I caught Corey off guard. Haha.
So, when the time comes, the rest of the watch passes by without incident. Vendi, you stay up the rest of the evening. You see Stock eventually stop standing there staring into the woods and lays down, and you hear the sounds of him sleeping.
It does not give me any respite, though. I'll take the point of exhaustion.
Yeah. And then why don't the two of you, before without exhaustion on this one, Vendi, why don't you and Xanalor make perception checks for fourth watch?
7.
11.
All right. You can't help but focus on what just happened to you, Vendi. Not just the threat that you received, but the information that you were given. And you can't help but spend the rest of the day, in fear for your life, and also sort of contemplating the gravity, the magnitude, and the consequence of what you've been shown and learned.
And I just gave
I'm
Rashad
totally gonna
the
get murdered.
abridged version.
I'm totally gonna get murdered.
Xanalor, you're a little bit more alert. You're a little more on edge because Stock and Vendi went off behind some trees, and they came back, and Vendi said that he found mortality, which is certainly not something that you want to find.
Go
So
to
you're
sleep.
like, okay, what the fuck is behind those trees? So yeah, you're a little bit more alert this time around, but still nothing really encroaches on the camp. And before the two of you really are able to sort of, but before you know it, the sun starts coming up, and you guys start getting ready for the day. Vendi, yeah, you do have that point of exhaustion. Xanalor, you don't. You're a little tired. You didn't do a lot though, so you're like, you still got some energy. So you guys pack up your things, snuff the fire, have your breakfast, load up the wagon, and set out. Oh, I forgot to move your guys' token. So you guys were about there after the first day. So on the second day, you guys see coming out of a small stand of trees, you guys see a bear come like bursting out of the woods towards the path. The horse gets spooked and rears up. Luckily, being attached to the wagon, it can't really go anywhere. Well, luckily for you guys, maybe not so lucky for the horse. But so a bear comes out of the woods. You see blood like soaked and caked into its jaw, and you also see like tattered cloths hanging kind of all over it. Let's go ahead and we're gonna roll for initiative while I move us over here.
Hey, it's a troll.
It's dead.
I have disadvantage
done.
on ability check, so I have disadvantage.
I've been staring at Vendi the entire time we've been traveling, though.
And I've been staring into my coffee. Holy shit, how did I actually roll well?
You found mortality.
Mm-hmm. It's that tired energy.
That tired energy.
Big tired energy.
Pull there. And let me pull that up. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay.
DM, before I get a chance to forget, for the upgrade to my shield.
Okay.
Does that have a mechanical upgrade, or is this just a flavor up?
It's a flavor upgrade. I mean, it should give you +2 to your AC like a shield should. A shield should.
Cool. Then I just need to change the title of it so it's more than just a few wooden planks roped together.
Yeah, this is it's much sturdier than your old shield. However, offers the same relative protection.
Cool.
Okay. So now that I'm all caught up on those sort of bookkeeping things that you would think that I would have done during the week. Okay. So let's go ahead, and if you haven't already, go ahead and roll initiative. 20 to 25. Did you fall in that range, Daniel, or you think?
No.
Okay. 15 to 20.
16.
19.
15.
And also, when it comes to combat order, I'm going to be as far away from stock as possible.
Okay. All right. So Borax had a 19. Vendi, you said you had a 16?
Borax had a 15.
Oh, Borax had a 15. Did somebody have a 19? Did I hear a 19?
Did. Stop.
Oh, okay. Did anyone else say something in the 15 to 20?
I did. I had a 16.
16. Okay. 16, 15. Got it.
Too many numbers.
Too many dice?
All right. Xanalor and Nevis, where did you guys end up?
7.
13.
13. Okay. All right. So this bear is going to be up first. It's actually large in size.
Yeah, that bear thick.
It's going to charge up to stock, and it's going to make 2 attacks with its big old paws. One is definitely going to miss. The other one is going to hit. That's going to be okay. 11 slashing damage.
Alrighty.
Not doing so great with the math today, but that brings us to stock.
Alrighty then.
Oop.
Because fuck this bear. Would it have made sense for over the 10-day for my glaive to have been repaired?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the shop.
I keep forgetting to ask that. Alrighty. That means I'm gonna make my first attack and use a fighting spirit.
Okay.
So I have advantages. That's a 19 to hit.
Okay.
So math rocks.
Yes.
That's 11 slashing.
Okay.
Make my second attack because I have 2 now. That's a 19 also.
Okay.
That is 14 slashing damage.
Okay.
Then, yep, that'll do it for me.
All right. So you see your glaive slice this bear twice, and you see like some blood start to come out, but the slice, it looks like it like heals up, and like there's like no evidence of you having hit the thing with your glaive. And it just roars at you. And Vendi, it's gonna be your turn.
All right. So making sure I've got an adequate understanding of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Wounded bear, who is quite large, comes running up to us and attacks stock.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it ran out on the road. You know, you guys hopped out of the
Mhm.
wagon, and it went up to the nearest person, from what you could tell.
So I'm going to use my ability Speech of the Woods, where I can speak, read, write, Sylvan. Beasts can understand your speech. You gain the ability to decipher their noises and motions. It does not have an intelligence minimum on the animal to do this.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just step forward, get next to Stock. I'm just he's like, hey, we're not your direct enemies, but we will defend ourselves. What is going on? And then I will cast Shillelagh on Log, and object, and that's gonna be my turn. That Shillelagh is not concentration, correct, but it lasts for a minute. Actually, do I still have my action on that?
I will.
The beast talking count as something?
I think that would have been your action.
Because that's gonna be more than common. I agree. I understand that. Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Man, this is a chatty bear.
Guys, he wants us to get on the Millennium Falcon.
Okay. With that, Borax, it's going to be your turn.
All right. We're going to make Dwight Schrute very happy and Stephen Colbert very angry and fight bear with bear. I'm going to turn into a black bear.
Okay.
And then use my movement to run up and confront him. I got 40 feet as a bear, so I assume I'm good.
Okay. Yeah.
And that is my turn.
Alrighty. Let's see here. Then Nevis, you're up.
All right, seeing that the bear made the first attack, and don't want to be left out of all the fun. I guess I'll just attempt a melee.
Okay.
I think that's a 14.
14 will hit.
Six bludgeoning damage.
Okay. You hit the bear. You you smash it we'll say you hit it across its face, right? And you see its jaw kind of shift to the side, right? But then as you prepare for the next thing to happen, you see the jaw you hear a crunching, cracking, and the jaw moves back to where it was. And it doesn't appear as though your attack has left any effect on the bear. Xanalor, you're up.
I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast it.
Okay.
That is a 23 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And 10 force damage.
Okay, and that was with two d10s, right?
Oh my goodness, I get to roll 2 now.
Yeah, you guys at level 5. Your cantrips all got boomed.
That's 6 more.
6 more, so 16.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Wait, so that's with your...
Hold on. So I do 2 beams.
You're right, yeah.
So I have to roll 2 attacks. Right? Is that accurate?
No.
I'm confused.
No, it's 1 to hit. It just does more damage now. So it should be 2d10 plus your agonizing blast.
Okay.
So 16 is correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That looks, from what you can tell, everyone in the area, that looks like it did more, like it actually like had an impact on the bear. That brings us back up to said bear. And it's going to, see, there's 4 of you. So,
And I'm a bear.
and you are a bear, correct? I'm going to roll,
Draws this attention.
2d4. You guys are 1 through 4 in the obvious order. Okay. Both attacks are going to be at Vershad.
Called it.
All right. So it's going to make 2 claw attacks at Vershad. The highest one is going to be a 16 to hit.
16 just barely hits.
Just barely hits. Okay. So that's going to be, let's see, 18 slashing damage.
Holy Toledo.
Yeah.
Which then brings us to Stock.
Alrighty, seeing that magic seems to work, I'm gonna... Yes, I need the light on, please.
Don't you have dark vision?
Yeah, I know, right? Switch over to the magic stick and I'm gonna go after him.
Okay.
I have one of those. Well, I rolled a 1 on a magic stick.
Well, luckily, magic
That's
items
a fun
can't be broken.
sentence.
Alright, let's try for the second attack. Okay. That is 22 to hit.
That will hit.
And I rolled a 1 for damage, so 5 bludgeoning.
Okay.
And let me check. Yep, because we're saying my stick is the same as a polearm, or not a polearm, a
Quarterstaff.
quarterstaff. I'm going to smack him with the back end.
Okay.
Or at least attempt to. 13 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that is a pointy boy. That is 8 bludgeoning.
Ooh,
You
can
get
we
to add
change
your
our
strength
team from
modifier to
NASA
that
to the
still?
Pointy Boys?
Let me double check. That uses the same ability modifier as the primary attack and it has a damage die of D4. Since I am proficient with polearms and polearm master bonus attack, it automatically adds the damage. I haven't modified it at all, the modifier.
All right, hang on.
Yeah. Says when you take the attack action with only a glaive, halberd, quarterstaff, or spear, you can use a bonus action to make a melee attack with the opposite end of the weapon. This attack uses...
Okay, it looks like it. I mean, at least according to D&D Beyond, it does allow you to add your strength. I was just curious if it followed the same rules as an offhand strike, because with that, you do not get to add your strength or dexterity bonus.
Yeah, it's a weird one being a feat.
Yeah, okay, so 8 damage.
I have prodded the bear.
All right, Vendi, you're up.
All right, so I'm going to start off by using my unicorn spirit.
Okay.
And that allows, and I'm going to once again put it on, this time, my nicer shield. So it is a 30-foot aura around me. Everyone has advantage on checks to detect creatures in the aura. And then if I cast a healing spell, it while inside the aura, doesn't matter who the target is, it automatically gives max healing.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'm going to cast Healing Spirit at the second level. And I'm going to drop it right here, behind Stock.
Okay.
And this one, once again, looks like you're talking real life. Bear.
Oh, damn, I forgot to make that token.
Yep.
Failure.
I know.
So then, here we go. Bear. And then I'm going to start by incurring an attack of opportunity, of course, but dropping back to gain 6 hit points.
Okay.
If you want to roll for that.
It's your spell, so you roll for that.
No. So I automatically get healing, but if I'm incurring an opportunity.
Oh, gotcha. Right. Nope, that's gonna miss.
Cool. And then I'm just gonna slide. Oh, come on! Allow me to move, please. Back there, and that will be my turn.
All right. Borax.
All right. I am going to first take a swipe at him with my claws.
Okay.
And that is a natural 20.
Woo! Nice.
Very
nice. Thank you. So that is 5 and 2, 7. So 14 plus 2, 16 with my claws. And that's doubled. And then I will I get a multi-attack with the bear, and I'll follow up with a bite at the bear's neck.
Okay.
And that is the law of averages. That's a 4.
I'm trying to see something. When you're in wild shape, I don't think it does, but does your attacks count as magical for the purposes of damage?
It does not say anything about that. I don't think it would.
There's special abilities at higher levels that eventually allow that.
Okay, so maybe if I turn into a magical beast.
I think for most of them is like once you hit a certain level, then you get the magic. It's kind of like monks, and their monk weapons will eventually become magical.
Or if I can turn into a unicorn.
Yeah. Or a
My horn
dragon.
can pierce the sky.
All right. Yeah. So you notice that your even like the depth of your claw attack, like how like it really you got in there and you fucked shit up. But that also like heals up.
Okay, in that case, I want to use my bonus action to break my bear spell.
Okay. All right. Anything with your movement or anything like that?
Nah.
Okay. Because you did hit it, so if you wanted to move away, you could.
He also burned up his reaction.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Nevis.
I'm gonna stay in it.
All right. I would like to cast Inflict Wounds at the first level on it.
Is it a save?
No, it is an attack roll, melee attack. My +8 gives me a 23 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Inflict those wounds.
Right. 2 and 3 D10. 23 necrotic damage.
Nice.
I don't understand how you rolled the same amount of damage as you did to hit. That's pretty impressive.
I got two 10s and a 3.
I
Nice.
think you should pay out some money because he did that.
Comes with being a badass.
Like, I think you need to Venmo your dad $23.
All right. Anything else with your turn, Nevis?
Yeah, I want to. I can still use a free action or move.
Yeah, you still have a bonus action if you have anything that you can do as a bonus action, and the ability to move.
I can, but I think I want to wait on that. But what I do want to do is invoke the Blessing of the Forge.
Okay.
And that'll end my turn.
All right, Xanalor.
Okay, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
I reread it. It's make an attack for each beam.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna roll 2 sets of dice. 16 to hit.
Yep.
For 7 force damage.
Okay.
And 13 to hit.
Yep.
For 8.
All right. Okay. And then since that is like 2 separate attacks, I think you add your agonizing blast damage twice then.
That's what I did.
Okay, good. All right. Anything else with your turn?
Stay right there.
Okay. All right. The bear is up again. I'm going to roll 2d4 again. If any of them land on a 4, I'm going to reroll. Okay. All right. So 1 attack against Borax and 1 against Stock. All right. Against Borax, that's going to be a 12 to hit.
It does not.
Okay. And then against Stock, that is it's a 22 to hit.
I reject
thank
your
God.
reality.
And then that's going to be 10 slashing damage to you, Stock.
I don't like this bear.
And then you're up, Stock.
All right, magic stick and fighting spirits.
Okay.
That is an 18 to hit for the first attack.
Okay.
Because I prefer the temporary hit points. And damage is a number 5 bludgeoning.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I rolled the wrong dice. My bad.
Oh, jeez.
Right dice. So that's 8 bludgeoning.
All right.
And second attack is that sitting? Okay, it's not stuck to the edge of the box. 26 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 10 bludgeoning.
All right.
I'm a moron. I've been doing that single-handedly this whole time.
Are you using your bonus action attack?
Bonus action is fighting spirit.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, I thought that was a Polar Master.
No, it's still a... It's a bonus action to make a melee attack with Polar Master, and it's a bonus action to use a fighting spirit.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Picked up Polar Master, so if I don't have any charges of fighting spirit, I can still do more damage.
Right. Okay. All right, Vendi, you're up.
All right. So I'm going to step through my healing spirit again for another 6 HP.
Okay.
Unicorn spirit is the goat right now. So that was 5. Shoot. Go back to the window. 10, 15, 20, and I'm going to prepare a produce flame.
Okay.
Yeah. And that will be my turn.
All right.
What looks like fire?
Borax, you're up.
All right. I will use my primal savagery and make my claws grow and take a swipe at a guy.
Mhm.
That is a 12 to hit.
12 will hit.
Okay, and that is 3 acid damage.
All right.
I didn't get hit last time, so I'm feeling a little cocky. I'm gonna stay in his face.
All right.
Feeling good.
All right. Okay. Nevis, you're up.
Okay. I was going to try something, but instead I'm just going to go with tried and true. For bonus action, cast spiritual weapon.
Okay.
And right there is just fine. He's within melee range. Let's see if I can hit him. Gosh, what is 15 hits, or does it 15 hit?
Yes.
Okay. 9, I believe it's force damage.
Okay.
Yeah, 9 force damage from the spiritual weapon.
Mhm.
And then I would like to, for my main action, make a melee attack against him with my mace.
Okay.
ever remember what my plus is. It's 6, so 15 again to hit. 7 bludgeoning damage from that.
Okay.
No, 8 because I had the Blessing of the Forge enhanced.
Right. All right. Okay. Xanalor, you're up.
Okay. Same thing.
Okay.
18 to hit
Mhm.
for 7 force.
Okay.
And 15 to hit for 12.
All right. That brings us back up to the bear. I'm going to go ahead and roll again for the attacks to see who it goes after. That's going to be Nevis and Stock.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
All right. So against Nevis, that's going to be a 15 to hit, and against Stock, it's going to be a 16 to hit.
Yep.
This is me.
Okay. Stock, that's going to be 10 slashing damage.
You are the worst kind of people.
And then you're up, Stock.
All right.
Bear's just barking at you the entire time, and he's right behind you.
I don't
I'm sorry,
see a
Jibo
bear.
for this battle.
Yeah, we'll do that again. We'll burn another. Actually, how am I looking? Nah, I'll hold off on that. I'm gonna go after him with a stick again.
Okay.
That's a 17 to hit.
Yep.
And two-handed this time. Didn't help me out at all, so that's 5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Extra attack. That's not gonna hit. And we'll go with the back end, which is a 16 to hit.
Mhm.
And that is 6 bludgeoning.
Okay. What was the second attack? Just for curiosity's sake.
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
So a total of 9.
All right. Vendi, you're up.
All right, let's see here. I'm going to unleash my produce flame, which is as an action, and I'm going to throw it at Mr. Bear, the actual bear, not Bear the dog,
Or Bear the Borax.
or Bear the Borax.
I'm no longer Bear the Borax. I'm
Okay,
just a little
formerly known as
furry halfling with spiky fingers.
So that will be a 15 plus 8 for 23.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 2d8 damage. Because level bump makes this spell better. For 8 fire damage.
Okay.
So let me mark off that. And then I'm going to shout out to the party. First thing, Stock, step backwards. Second thing, this might not be a normal bear. And that's my turn.
Okay. Borax.
Him having said that, I will forego attacking and use my action to kind of like look over the bear, see if I see anything off about it or anything giving away how it's not a normal bear.
Okay. Make an
Invest deception.
Yeah, make an investigation or perception check, whichever's higher. I'll let you pick that one.
14 plus either 1 or 3. So we'll go with 3. We'll go with a 17.
Okay. You notice that the cloth that was like wrapped around the bear does appear to be like tattered human clothes.
Okay.
It's a werebear.
Yeah, I will use the rest of my turn to yell out, werebear.
All right. Nevis, you're up.
All right. Bonus action, try to melee with the spiritual weapon again.
Okay.
Wow, that's only a 2. Does a 10 hit?
10 will miss.
Damn.
Not by much.
Okay. Melee with the mace again. for how's a 19 sound?
That'll definitely hit.
Okay. And then max damage, 9 bludgeoning.
Nice. As Nevis shouts, "Where bear, I don't give a fuck, bear."
I've turned spell slots. This thing's dying.
Xanalor, you're up.
I don't know what to do with werebear, so I'm just gonna blast it.
So I started blasting.
Anyway, I started blasting.
24 to hit, and
Yep.
6 force, and 17 to hit for 15.
Oh, was that max?
That one was max, yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. Bear is up again. I'm gonna go ahead and do the roll for the attacks. One is gonna be at stock.
Stand by my original statement.
The other one is gonna be at stock too.
Yeah, you attacked it. Yeah, you're the first attack against it.
So that's gonna be a. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be a 17 and a 22 to hit.
Fuck you.
So those both hit.
Yes, my AC is 15.
Okay. So the first attack is 16 slashing damage, and the second one is 11 slashing damage.
I'm looking rough.
Well, there is healing literally right behind you. You just have to step backwards. Stop
Pet the dog. Just pet the dog.
And take the opportunity attack.
I will remind
you hit it
that the
first.
stagger rule is in effect, and you have hit it on every single one of your rounds.
True. Actually. So, because looking at shit, that doesn't count. Get out now.
Yeah, werebear.
All right. Let's burn my last fighting spirit. Get advantage with the magic stick. Works better if I don't throw dice everywhere. That is 13 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And Freya, stop. That is 7 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
So do that, and then I will take my extra attack against it. Is that sitting flat? Okay, it is. Math numbers. 25 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 11 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna burn an action surge because it doesn't cost me a bonus action to go after it again.
Okay.
So would that give me... So whenever I take the attack action, I can attack twice, and action surge gives me an extra action on my turn, so that means I can attack it 2 more times. Correct?
Action surge gives you another action and potential bonus action, so you can use your action to make the attack action, which gives you extra attack, and you have a potential bonus action.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I was thinking that right. So first attack on that extra attack is going to be a 25 again to hit.
Okay.
And that is math. 9 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Second attack is going to be a 22 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 10 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And I want to use my bonus action to burn my short rest. Or not my short rest, my second wind.
Okay.
That's 8 heals to me. And then I will take that step back into the bear.
And
That's 6 HP back to you.
Yep. So as you unleash this torrent of fishing pole strikes on this bear, the bear kind of rears back. You hear it let out and
Constipation.
as it starts to fall down, you hear the sound become more and more human-like, and the bear's shape actually changes, and eventually laying on the ground in front of you is a human male who has like a... I mean, his clothes are in tatters around him. He's basically naked. He's covered in blood. It looks like his bones are shattered from all the damage you guys did to him. Yes.
I'm gonna run over and cast Spare the Dying.
Okay. All right. So he starts breathing miraculously despite his shattered rib cage, but he's still unconscious.
So, Xanalor, do you have another spell to cast called Spare the Misery?
Is it bad that I wanted my first impulse to be as Xanor's casting Spare the Dying? I want to hit him again.
I think the Spare the Misery would be you.
Well, roll him into where Stock is standing right now.
I ain't moving worth shit. Fuck that thing.
Can I stand there, please?
No, go fuck yourself.
Aren't you able to move the thing?
Yeah, you can move it, I think.
I can, but I was going to... All right, Bear, come here. Come here, Bear. So I can gain my last 6 HP, and then I send him right back to Stock. So every 6 seconds, Stock, you gain 6 HP.
Bear's just doing...
doing laps.
He's got a case of the zoomies right now for the remainder of the minute.
That bear didn't like me.
Okay, so what are you guys doing with this unconscious man?
Tying him up to a tree, covering him in honey, and setting him on an anthill.
All right, who wants to take bets? Angry Druid or Werebear?
I mean, this doesn't look like any druid I've ever seen.
They don't lose their clothes when they shape.
Yeah.
I got 5 gold on Werebear.
I don't know
daytime?
how betting works.
It is daytime, yeah.
I just look at Stock and I go, there, Bear.
Daggers. All the daggers.
Wow.
There's so many bears in this battle right now. We've got my bear, the werebear, my own mortality.
So
we're going to talk about that.
So how much healing would I get from this bear then?
So every time that you talk to G-Boat, or inhabit the same space as him, it's 6 HP until my unicorn spirit fades.
How many rounds did you have left on it?
So the yellow dot is how much I have on both healing spirit and the unicorn spirit.
Okay. So 45 hit points.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, technically, like, one of the biggest complaints with healing spirit is if we all just kind of like walk around it in a circle, you can technically gain its effects more than once a turn. Which seems like, oh, that's broken, so I probably should never do that.
So I only need 35.
Okay.
So after I'm back up to full, which would be ballpark. What,
so if
5 rounds,
if he came to me for 1d6, the other 7 could go to him, and then we're both back up to max.
Mm-hmm.
I only need ballpark 5 rounds because I have the 5 temporary hit points. So if anybody else needs healing after that, since this fucking werebear was all about me.
Nope.
Well,
I never got touched.
Should we tie him up before he wakes up?
Why do you need to do that to my dog?
Not that bear.
The other bear. But on this note, I should probably be getting off to head to work.
All right.
This work is dumb.